Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Get to Know Them. I am your host, Monica Graves. This is my dog, May, for those of you who have not met her yet. She's my little Ed McMahon today, so she wanted to come along, and it's nice to have her. I have a co-host. Thank you so much for joining us. For those of you who are not familiar with Get to Know Them, like I said, I'm your host, Monica Graves. This is a show where I just want to take an hour to inspire you by introducing you to amazing people that I know. And our guest today is an exceptional guest. My good friend Mindy Tweedle joins us today, and I'm going to take a moment to introduce you by reading her bio. But before I do that, I wanted to talk to you about my outfit of the day. So every day, every show, I have a different outfit on. Clothing designed by my dear friend Brenda Badome, who is a clothing designer here in Ontario. She's located in Toronto. You can check out her website at brendabadome.com. She has a special coupon code for the show, Get to Know Them. And when you use that coupon code at checkout, you'll get 22% off of your order. So today I'm wearing her top. If you see in my social media, you can see the pants that I'm wearing. They're also hers. This top is a few years old now, but I did want to wear it because look how great it looks. Her clothes are like built to last. So make sure you invest in some nice pieces from Brenda. And I also wanted to talk to you about my jewelry, of course. Being a Canadian jewelry designer, I thought what better sponsor than to sponsor myself. So this is Glam Jewels. You can check us out at glamjewels.com, GLAMJULZ.com, and grab yourself some jewels to coordinate with your Brenda clothes. So are you ready? Are you ready to hear all about our guest? I am so excited to have Mindy Tweedle here. Mindy Tweedle of tweedleproductions.com, another great website to check out. Mindy is the owner, producer, and executive performance coach of Tweedle Productions, Inc. The award-winning Mindy Tweedle has brought her vibrant expertise to work on more than 80 television shows for Canada's leading national channels, and she has achieved major success at the helm of startup projects in Europe and in other Tier 1 North American cities, and has covered conflicts in the Middle East. Mindy has launched a number of independent TV series for other networks, and she has produced and hosted one of her own. With strong ties to her community, Mindy is intensely committed to helping people communicate their message in an inspiring way. Mindy has a business mind, a giving heart, and a creative spirit. Her passion enhances client businesses, empowers women through mentorship, inspires with keynote speaking, and advocates with donating a video to charity annually. This is the basis in which she established Tweedle Productions, Inc. over 23 years ago. Mindy can be found in the Mohawk College Alumni of Distinction. She was awarded Young Entrepreneur of the Year by the Chamber's Outstanding Business Achievement Awards, Top 40 Under 40 in Hamilton, Burlington, and a Young Femme Leader awarded by Illuminescence magazine. The more time I get to spend with Mindy, the better. She's a trailblazer in her own right. Wait until you hear her personal story. There are so many inspiring facets to my friend Mindy. Here she is.
Hey!
Hey, Mindy.
Wow, what an intro. Thanks, Monica. Good to see
Listen,
you. And May.
I am so happy to see you too. Yes, May's excited you're here. And I'm just so delighted you're here, Mindy, because your business is like fabulous, knock it out of the park, out of this world. And then there are a few little personal things I know about you that you advocate for, which I'm really excited to get into today as well. So thank you for being such a ray of sunshine. Honestly, you're just amazing.
Thank you. Well, with your
So
inspiration, then we just keep going, don't we?
yeah, we keep on going. I love our brainstorm sessions
Yes.
together. Yeah. So Mindy, of
Mhm.
course, the first question I'm going to ask you is, what did little Mindy want to be when she grew up?
Little Mindy was going to be an astronaut. So that
Oh,
was, oh yeah, yeah, going right to the moon. That was what was going to happen. And then, reality potentially set in. And then when I was at 4, I remember my parents put me, well, my mother, in a beauty pageant. And, they tell you go over here and spin and then go over here and pose. So I remember watching all the other women, the girls before me do it. And I came up with what I thought was a better way to rock the stage. So that's what I did. And of course, I did not win. And after, my mom was like, why did you not listen? Like, why did you do it? And I had to explain because my way was better, meaning more efficient at the time. So then I remember in grade 8, we had to write a paper on what do you want to be when you grow up? And it said, I'm going to be an accountant or an entrepreneur. And my dad had to mark the paper and, approve it. And he said, there's no way with this personality, you're going to have a pencil and eraser and sit behind a desk all day. And I said, and I guess it's decided I'm going to be an entrepreneur. So
wow.
yeah, grade 8. There you go.
That's great. And Mindy, did you do well in public school?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
did
I
you do
did.
well
I
in school
found
growing up?
school did. I was blessed. It did come easy to me.
Yeah.
And so it really was a blessing. And then with that, I studied ballet with the National Ballet School in Toronto and then out of Westdale here in Hamilton. So it gave me the flexibility to leave school a lot and go dance, and the discipline there really, truly affected my future.
Wow. How old were you when you were doing ballet?
4 until 3 or 4, I started until my early 20s.
My goodness, that's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I love
How's your body from that? Do you have
it.
aches and pains?
Well, it's a good time.
I was gonna say that's a lot of years of
Oh, yeah,
contortion almost.
yeah. Did you do dance?
Yeah.
What did you do?
No, but I know I have a couple of friends who've done ballet, and
Yeah,
I mean, just like you say, the discipline and, I mean, just by looking at what your feet can do, it's
yeah.
crazy.
It's
So,
it's true. Oh, yes.
oh, amazing. So after high school, Mindy, or before we go there, during high school, were you already kind of thinking about, oh yeah, I want to be an entrepreneur, but what kind of entrepreneur do I want to be? Like, what did that actually mean to you being an
Yeah, a few
entrepreneur?
different things came to mind. I wanted to be a pastor at one point, but for a deaf congregation. I wanted to open
Oh,
a dance school for a deaf community. In no way in my family are like I've never been around that community, but I think I just saw potential need or something unique that maybe I
yeah.
could do with outreach and with business. So at 16, I did co-op placements. I ended up at 100 Huntley Street. And it was funny because I hated television. I thought it desensitizes kids, it ruins relationships. I thought it was a terrible thing. But this was the only placement that worked out. And that was clearly how my life was supposed to go, because when I was there, I learned how you can influence people positively through the medium of television. So I started, in television at 16. They did encourage me to go to post secondary. I really did not want to, but
Yeah.
it's never a bad idea, apparently, to have, some, yeah. So I
Yeah.
did, and then I kind of just got bored at school. So I started my company at 19 years old.
Wow. I love this. This is so typical. I'm finding the more entrepreneurs I talk to, I remember feeling like I was the only one who was like, I just can't wait to get the hell out of school and make some money and change the world. And,
Absolutely. Yeah.
now you're saying that too. It's sort of,
Yes.
you thought, oh, post-secondary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Plus, I think because I was already working in the industry, they would teach
Hmm.
us stuff at times, and I'd be like, "Oh, that's not how it is anymore." Like, it just,
Right.
not to knock the institution, but I just wanted to, like you said, live and work and make a difference in the world. So,
Yeah. And once again, you had a better way. You already knew.
yeah, apparently. So, yeah, I
Go
initially
ahead.
opened my business because I wanted to help charities and small businesses get the attention and
Mhm.
awareness that they deserved. And I remember
Yeah.
choosing to donate every year, like you said, a video And one of the first ones I did was Ronald McDonald House. And I'll never forget the call they gave me, and they said, thank you so much. I was like, oh yeah, no problem. They're like, no, we just got a huge donation because somebody saw your video that you chose to donate to us. And so from there going forward, it's just something endlessly that I want to continue to be able to do and help charities, small businesses, fellow women get the right attention and support each other. I'm noticing these days, there's been some gentlemen that say to me, I don't understand you women. And I'm like, yeah. What do you mean now? And they go, you say that you build each other up, but in the workplace, all I hear is you women stabbing each other in the back. And I say, oh my goodness. So for men to notice this and then bring it to our attention, this is like, I think a new passion to combat this and to make sure that I'm not one of those women, and to bring this to other women's attention and make sure that we really do have to uplift each other rather than stab each other in the back. Let's have each other's backs. Let's commit to this. This is what I feel we need to do now. So this is kind of like my new thing.
Oh, I think that's great. You know what, it's so true. And I think, a lot of us, the way we're raised, it's all of this messaging we've had, even little things like, going through a magazine with your friend and it's like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. When we were growing up and wanting to be like that person, and then and almost putting ourselves in positions where we felt threatened by other women because of whether the way they look or their success or whatever it is. And I love this new movement where we're actually looking at women. We're saying to ourselves, I want to hang out with women who are more successful, the women who do have something that they can share, because I want to learn, and mentorship and all of that energy of that just feels so much greater than I'm going to cut this person down because of jealousy or whatever it is, right?
Well said.
So
that's exactly it. And even when I started my business, I started to join, the women's networking groups, and that was awesome. And then the Chamber of Commerce, and then Rotary. I really, really loved being a Rotarian for 20 years. And then I thought, what's next? There's got to be a next level to connecting with people in business. And so I joined the Hamilton Club here in Hamilton, and it was an interesting journey. I wanted to be the youngest female member, not realizing what a challenge at times that could be. So, it's it's a great time. It's a great challenge.
Yes. And I've told you before, Mindy, to me, this is huge because when you and I first met, you were sort of involved in that. And that was the early beginnings.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God, this young woman is going into this club where to me it would be, I would never go there. It's all old white men that go there. That's what my thinking is, right? There's no diversity. There's no women. It's stuffy. Why would I even set foot in there? And so tell me a little bit about your passion to how did this all happen?
For me, I just love taking on some unique challenges, I guess, in life. Apparently, for some reason, that's one of them. And really just helping connect women in settings such as this to increase our comfort zone where we aren't always made to feel comfortable, and to own it as well. When you're a paying member in some of these clubs, equality should be there. And so we're getting there. We are getting there. I'm no longer the youngest female, so that's awesome. We have other young females there. And
fantastic.
It really is a wonderful place to go and work and network. And there's a lot of shoots that we do there. So it's interesting.
Great.
Yeah.
So do you were doing a Thursday night sort of meetup there. You were doing that before the pandemic. Have you returned to that? Are you doing that every once in a while?
Yeah, I was just there on Thursday for my birthday. So
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I love it. Again, connecting people. And I really find old school business is still how I choose to do business. I get highly critiqued not being on social media. and wanting
Yeah.
to meet in person and grow a personal relationship rather than
Mhm.
just liking people's stuff online, which clearly has a benefit. But I find there's just something about building that relationship and getting to know someone and then building that trust so that when
Mhm.
you need or want to refer or anything in business, you already have that core group and you're always working for each other per se. So every
Yeah.
time someone compliments my jewelry, thank you. It's
Yeah.
about connecting, and you want some pieces for that new dress, check out
Yeah.
Monica and Glam Jewels,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
like you and I helping each other with our business goals and like what's next and like working through some of the challenges that do still come with it. I know when I
Mhm.
was, I think I was 19, yeah, I approached Ron Foxcroft and I said, you're so respected with Fox 40, with Fluke Transport, with all his businesses, giving back endlessly to the community. I said, can I take you to lunch? And he said, no. Okay. So he said, you can come to my office for 1 hour, and that's what we'll do. Lunch takes too much time out of a business day. I thought, well, this is interesting, but I wasn't going to miss an opportunity to get to know him. So I went
Yeah.
and we turned it into a once a month, 1 hour meeting where I would bring 3 questions to the table. And that could be questions about business. It could be questions about how to be an entrepreneur and try to sustain a marriage. It
Yeah.
was finding balance. It was sales, marketing. How much do you give back to the community? How much do you not? And that was just an amazing relationship that we had. And he really helped and has some really great insight.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. And it's connecting ourselves, right? And not being afraid to
Yeah.
ask the questions and approach people and get to know them.
Yes.
Exactly what you're doing here. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so cool. So, Mindy, there's quite a lot of pressure to be on social media.
Yeah.
And and I find too, like people see you on one platform, then the next thing they're asking is like, why aren't you now on TikTok or why aren't you on this?
Right.
And so it can feel so overwhelming. You feel like, do I need to look at every single social media outlet and create something? And then before you know it, you're not sitting down working on your business, you're now a social media queen or whatever.
Uh,
So, how did you come to this decision and how do you sort of like turn your head from all that pressure? Because I really admire that. I envy it. I'm like, what would it be like to live without, this
yeah.
constant
Well, and
contact?
at
So,
times, and for certain businesses, it absolutely is such a business tool. So in no way do I ever knock it. I think it's fantastic. Personally, I realized I was waking up in the morning and you grab the phone and you just start scrolling. And I would realize I would waste 2 hours of my life just scrolling. And I thought, why don't we just do an experiment for 2 weeks? Let's use that time and not go on the phone to scroll, but let's invest this time into the business. And my business grew exponentially. And I thought, well, that's quite interesting that maybe for now, this is what I'm going to do. And maybe one day I'll be on some platforms and see how it goes. But again,
yeah.
I would book coffees with people to get to know them. I would work on projects that I would never put the time aside to do in the past
Mhm.
and just really get stuff done.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm also curious to know, especially I mean, you and you're younger than me, but we're still familiar with that era of pick up the phone and call somebody to make stuff happen, right? And
Yeah.
so you and I are both like comfortable with that. But I find like the next generation now, it's a little more passive. They're like, I don't want, nobody calls anybody out of the blue. It's like a text, is it okay if I call you now kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
Very soft and very non-intrusive.
Yes.
And so I wondered, when you are picking up the phone and you're calling people and you're arranging coffee dates, what's the response like
Most
from
people
on the
don't
other end?
answer, or they answer and go, "What's
Okay,
wrong?" Because you're calling them.
interesting. Yeah,
And then some I do find are just like, "Wow, it's so nice to
yeah.
connect and talk or FaceTime or show up for that coffee meeting and really have it's the energy from people. Like when you and I get together, the energy is next level and it's exciting and it's powerful and it just nothing creates anything like that through, a screen, I find.
Yeah.
So the more
Yes.
we can, especially now after COVID, reconnect and get back together, I really feel it's going to help a lot of people too mentally.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too. I think so. And I always encourage, any young people that I talk to that are, entrepreneurs, or that's the first thing I say. It's don't be afraid to pick up the phone.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
actually sets you apart now because nobody's doing that.
Yeah. That is so true. So true.
It's a competitive advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even working with a lot of charities and like wanting to support them and encouraging people, if I feel it's a good cause, to also support. It's that getting together and talking about it, not just sending off the package in an email and hoping they respond. But when you get together and can actually talk about the difference you can make as a team and together, really, I find gets a much greater response.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've sat on quite a few boards.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What's it like to sit on a board?
I love it. I love the
Yeah.
opportunity to give back, to ask questions, to make a difference in your own backyard. It was very interesting in my 20s. I was asked to sit on a lot of boards to check boxes. So it was you're a female, you're young, you're an entrepreneur. We want you on our board because you check all these boxes. And there was a few that I sat on, and I would either want to get more involved with the organization or ask questions that I thought were important questions to be asked. And I was told to be silenced. And, I was not there to have that kind of role. I was just there as a young female entrepreneur. So it's quite
Interesting.
interesting what we are still facing, as women in
Yeah.
business. And not letting that stop you or deter you, but just I use that as power to keep going
Mhm.
and to keep encouraging other women or just people. If you want to go into business for self, yeah, it's hard. And if you love that roller coaster, the up and downs and the challenges and the endless mind racing, but also like the successes and the opportunities and just coming together and empowering each other, then just do it. You might
Yeah,
as well try. You don't know.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's great. So,
Mhm.
Mindy, when you and I first met,
Yeah.
it was actually, well, we met at an event, but the first time that I sort of spent some time with you in your business was at the Hamilton Club
Yeah.
because
Right.
I wanted to do your media training, which was amazing.
Thank you.
Oh my God, it was such a great
Aw.
training. I loved it.
You rocked the
And
course. I was like, she's so good. And she knows television because she's on it all the time. What can I teach her? But again,
oh,
it's not to question ourselves, it's to come together and empower each other. And that was so
yeah,
much fun with you. You did. I took 10 years to develop this course. And it came from all my background of producing television, reporting, having my own TV show, and also delivering to live audiences. And I really took everything that I thought we all need to know to deliver better and to have our audience understand and hear the right message that we're trying to give them. So I did. I put together the half day course, and
yeah,
it's kind of like media boot camp for everything from what Instagram right up to television, or
yeah,
if you want to deliver to a board, even, or to your even people you work with. Like it's just on how to deliver more confidently. So yeah, as you know, we touch on everything from makeup to wardrobe, jewelry. Thank you very much.
yeah.
And uh,
How about this hair? Remember, this was the big.
that was the big Mindy, I want to be more open to my audience. I don't understand what's happening. I was like, woo.
That was the best. I'm like, oh my
That was
God, all I had to do is poop. But all joking aside about the hair, you know what was a really great experience for
yeah.
me with that course was that, first of all, even though I had already done TV, I was super freaked out about having you and your camera guy. What's his
Yeah.
name again? I love him.
Dennis.
Dennis,
Director
that's right.
Dennis. Oh yeah.
Director Dennis. So you guys are both there, and I'm like, okay, so they're going to be like critiquing my performance. So automatically that makes me nervous
Yeah.
because I didn't know you that well yet.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. And it was an hour of absolute like joy and
Oh, cool.
fun. And there was no stress. And then I remember going from your course
Mhm.
to then having a segment shortly after.
Yes.
And oh my gosh, I was just blown away because all of my nerves went away and I
Good.
was confident. I even did a subtle look to the camera and
Oh,
back to the
yeah.
interviewer.
Yeah, you
I
did.
was
I
rocking
watched
it.
that one. It was like, she's nailing it even more.
Yeah, I loved it so much.
Good.
Yeah, it was really good.
We do the teaching, and then when we do the live to tape practice, you're right. As
Yeah,
much as I don't want to call it critiquing in a negative way, but we look at everything you did well and then focus on
yes.
that and how to bring that next level. So yeah, there's everyone that's taken the course is from CEOs all the way down to there's actually an autistic child that their parents signed them up because they were going to go and do a media interview and they didn't
Uh-huh.
want the child to be freaked out with the lights and the mic and what's happening. So we did
Yeah,
some practice sessions there, all the way to people
great.
that just again want to deliver their message to their board of directors or just be more confident in life. And that's why I have
Yes,
so much passion. And
exactly.
I just love this course because everyone has a different takeaway. And just again, the empowerment of confidence within us. That's what I like
Yes,
to ask
that's
people.
I love that. Mindy,
Yeah.
I want you to keep talking about the course while I go and get my cable to plug my laptop in because did
Okay.
not do, and the battery notice just went, and I don't want to cut you off. So
Yeah.
please keep telling the folks
Talk
about
about
your
business.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
essentially, I also do a video production for people. So everything from videos for social media platforms to right up to television series. I mean, I travel the world shooting for television, but even here in Hamilton, across North America, a lot of video production. People don't necessarily like to read anymore. They want to just watch a quick video to get their information. So that's what I've also focused on there, as well as the media training. And then now that we're back in person, event planning has become more prominent as well. So with people getting together to have all different kinds of events, from national conferences to just unique parties to charity events, all that kind of stuff. Love party planning and conference planning and getting all that, all taking the nerve out of planning. Everyone's afraid they're going to miss something. So they just hand it over to us. We'll plan their event and it's always a good time.
God. And with event planning, that just feels like super overwhelming to me.
Oh,
But
that's why
you
we're
must have like,
here. That's why
oh
I'm
my,
here for you. Exactly. Well, and it's
yeah,
making all those decisions from audio, video. What do I need? How many screens? Like, do I need gluten-free food? How do I get the, Eventbrite email out? It just all
yeah.
of those little details I take away and I do it. So all you can do is be excited to rock your event.
That's fantastic. Actually, we need to talk after the interview because I'm involved in an event coming up in November.
Ooh,
Yeah, where I think they
fun.
may need your
Yeah,
assistance.
what have
Yeah.
you been
So,
up to? What's new with you?
oh my gosh. Well, I've been, you know what? I've been practicing a little more mindfulness because little
Oh,
things like this now, Mindy, being 53.5 years old, uh, forgetting to plug in the laptop. I'm noticing there's more and more of these types of things happening in my life the busier I get. So, um, yeah, it's all, yeah, mindfulness is so
to
important.
be
I need to like
aware.
slow it down.
Yeah. And that's true though, right? It's the awareness of
Yeah.
really what's going on with our bodies, in our worlds, with our families, and just really, you're right, dialing it in and making some solid plans, sometimes changes, just to
Yeah.
really have a positive future and be excited. That's also what I
Yeah.
find too, is just living for today. We don't know. We
Mhm.
have no idea what our future is, can be, will be, or how long
Yeah.
it is. So I think, yeah, it's living for now. This is all I
Yeah.
tattooed it on my foot. Life is now. Because
Did you?
literally, yeah. My sister and I went, and I took my favorite pair of stilettos, which I actually have on. And the tattoo artist said to my sister, Is Mindy actually asking me to put a tattoo like based around her shoe per se? And my sister was like, yeah, no, she's serious. She wears those shoes all the time. So literally I want it in a place that I could look down and then lift myself back up. And it's reminding me that
Oh,
really life is, and we are so blessed. Even,
mhm.
the hard times and COVID and with our businesses, the ups and downs and the stresses, we truly are, if we choose to see the blessings in our lives, they're there. So it's
Yeah,
always keeping that front of mind that,
I
and
love that.
with your mindfulness too, right? Is okay, this
Mhm.
is what's happening. What can I do? And that's what I
Yeah,
love about goal setting too. I learned as a teenager to, yes, we can, have big goals, but then to break them down into
mhm.
bite-sized pieces. Really, because
Yeah,
then as we're doing them, they're attainable. And every day we can become closer and closer. And it doesn't just seem so far away. And
yeah.
just to encourage ourselves really to keep going. I don't know if you do it too, but I have sticky notes everywhere with my to-do list and this and
Oh,
that,
yeah.
business goals. And so even just like crossing something off the list, you're just like,
Yeah.
okay, what's next? We got this.
Yes. And apparently, like when you do that, so everybody encourage, like, even if you want to write on there, I brush your teeth, because there's something that fires in the brain every time you do that strike off, that it's like a win, and you do get an endorphin rush from it.
Yeah,
um, which
that's
is
so
really great.
true.
And the whole idea also of putting pen to paper,
Hmm.
just slowing that down, not typing,
Yeah,
so much more can sort of come out of you. And then the striking off, it's very, very powerful.
absolutely.
Yeah,
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 every day is a win
yeah,
for me, but that's what I love because then every day
yeah.
is full and it feels like success. And it's, yeah, I don't know how many times I've said
Mhm.
empowering, but that's what I want my life to be. And like
Yes.
you, surrounding ourselves with those people. My
Hmm.
counselor one day taught me that you are allowed to divorce your friends. And I thought that was the weirdest thing. And then she said, you sometimes connect yourself with people and you leave and you feel worse about yourself. So why do you continue to see these people? And I said, well, because I have to, because they ask, because we're lifetime friends. And she said, no, 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 enough of this. When you leave someone that you've chosen to spend part of your life with, even if it's just an hour, you
Hmm.
want to leave feeling better about yourself, either about, because you complimented each other, because you helped each other, whatever it is, you need to leave feeling better. And those are the people you need to surround yourself with. So there was some,
Yeah.
at times there's a bit of a friend shift and just
Hmm.
choosing what to do with my time. But that was pretty eye opening that we actually have the choice to say no,
Yes.
to limit our time with certain people, or to just not see them at all.
Yeah, it's incredible. And I think that's such a good attitude, and it's a great perspective to have on life in general, because when you think about the population, like we've got like 8 billion people on the planet. And is that right? It's 8 billion, right? Yeah,
It's
I
a
think
lot.
it's,
We
yeah,
got
it's a lot. I'm like, is it 80 or 8? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We got a lot of people on the planet.
yeah, we do.
And and when you think about life and purpose,
Hmm.
we have this whole thing like, what is my purpose? What is my purpose? And people forever looking for their purpose. And
Yes.
really, your purpose is to be joyful and enjoy this life that you're blessed with, right? And in doing so, the acceptance of understanding that just because a friend is in your life
Mm.
and then leaves your life,
Mhm.
it doesn't mean that you're wrong or they're wrong, or that we need to place blame on anything. It's
No.
about lessons. It's about going through the motions. It's about,
Yeah.
it's not to be judged. And going back to what you were saying, Mindy, about just women like raising each other, and empowering the other woman, and
Yeah.
not cutting each other down. This is all part of it. If we can just accept things to be the way they are,
Yeah.
and of course there are things we can't tolerate, and that's okay too. Like, it's all, I don't know.
And it is, along
I
with that, I find it's having the confidence and showing the confidence that really
Mhm.
drives people forward. And
Mhm.
either, you sometimes we gotta fake the confidence. Let's be real. You're gonna
Yeah.
walk into, a new situation on your own and you really don't want to, but you put the smile on and you go, and there's just something about owning our space that we
Yes.
really need to also, I think, focus on. And that, even with dating, like men are driven to confident women. Sometimes they're afraid of them. That's a whole other show for us. But anyway,
Yes.
and also, as a woman entrepreneur, people don't want to deal, I find, with a passive woman. It's, do I own what I do? Can I help you? Let me tell you how I can help you, your business. People say, what do you do? I say, I help people make more money. And I go, what, you're in finances? No, I help you promote your business so your sales will get better via video production, via events, and via the executive performance coaching. Because really, when you can sell your product and just be a confident person out there, it does attract people to you. And that's what I want people to work on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love, I'd love to talk to you as well about your viewpoint on branding,
Yeah.
because I think there's sort of, I don't know, there's a couple of different types of people. There are people like me who I'm like, face of my brand. I want to somehow incorporate roller skating into my business because that's what I love. And so my branding has to be me. Like it can't
Yeah.
be anything else. When
No.
people have said, "Oh, have you thought about doing something more like a Christian Dior kind of?" I'm like, "No,
Right.
never going to happen." But then there are people who are like, "Well, I don't want to be the face of my business. I like to be behind the scenes. I don't know what the brand actually is." How do you help people to sort of like really
Mhm.
dial in on that and show their own uniqueness?
Absolutely. And that is it.
Yeah.
And that's where coming together and bringing the people together that support each other, that's also what that encourages. Because it's like,
Mhm.
I can be myself and I just want to be myself. And if that's what I can sell, if that's what people are attracted to, that's the best kind of branding you can have. I feel is your personality, and the confidence in what you do for a living, what your product is, what your service is, whatever that is. If you can confidently sell that, and again, just helping each other, getting the word out there. So branding, I agree with you. I feel it should be your uniqueness. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Let's not hide that anymore. Before, you're right,
No.
it had to be this, this, and this. And in some ways it still is. You want a clean, good image, but it's
Mhm.
it's being you and having the freedom to be you. And I love it. I love looking behind you at all you. Like you're telling your story
Yeah.
in your background, and that is so
Right.
beautiful. Don't stop.
Thanks. Don't
Yeah.
stop. Never stop. No.
No.
No. Yeah, it's great. And I just find it so fascinating when you look at how the world has changed, and like being a kid growing up in the 80s, and how we had these like celebrities and we idolized them and we didn't really know anything about their personal life. It was just all about the image, and you kind of had created this mysterious thing in your head about what they might be like, or but now that with social media, actually, everybody has that opportunity to present themselves almost like a celebrity. But the
Yeah.
cool thing we've learned is exactly what you're saying. We are all so unique. Like
Yeah.
everybody, all these people, all these billions of people all have something that the other guy doesn't have. And
So true.
why would you push that down? Like
No,
that's
let's
gotta,
help each other bring it out.
yeah.
That's why I love traveling. I love learning about the world. When I got to go undercover to study Christianity in Muslim countries, there was just something about hearing people's stories and learning their trials and tribulations and what brings them happiness. And who
Yeah.
all these different people in the world are. I always hope that I'll be blessed enough to continue to travel, personally, professionally, and just
Mhm.
keep learning, giving
Uh,
people hope, really. And like
yeah.
you were talking about earlier with, what is our purpose? I'll never forget, I was flying home from Hawaii and the plane plummeted. It's been the only time in my life that I literally thought it was the end. And it kind of disappointed me later that my thoughts didn't jump to family, friends. I still feel guilty about that. But it went to, what's my legacy? And did I fulfill it? And I was like, wow.
Wow.
Then I chose the mindset of, well, I'm still here. and have the opportunity to figure that out and live it. So at this time, it's helping people with their confidence, it's giving people hope. If you can leave someone and think that you've impacted them in a positive way, that's what I want my life to be about.
Oh, amazing.
So
Yes, and you're doing it.
thank
You
you.
are doing it. You
I remember one
totally
day I
are.
woke up and I was really upset that I didn't feel blessed. Maybe it was depression. I don't know, but I called my counselor and I was like, this is what's happening. Like, what's wrong with me? I'm so blessed. I have a business. I have an
Mhm.
amazing family. My friends, like, I don't know why I'm feeling this way. And she said, well, because you're human. I'm like, what? She said, it's okay. You can allow yourself to work through these ups and downs. You don't always have to be on this
Yeah.
high. But I'm like, but I do because I'm so blessed. And she's like, but it's okay.
Yes.
Obviously, if there's, staying down for a longer period of time or something, we talk through it. But,
Mhm.
just allowing ourselves to be human, to feel, to help each other through. This is where, too, taking negative situations in life that have happened to all of us, all so different. We all respond so uniquely to different situations, but taking them and turning into a positive because we can help people. So
Yeah.
it's, looking back, people are like, oh, you're divorced, you're this, you're that. Okay. Would you get married again? Sure. What do you mean?
Mhm.
Like, well, I knew I survived it the first time. I could survive it again. It's
Yeah.
and helping people through situations because you've been there. So
Mhm.
I think people hold on to these negative things that happen in life, but how about let's twist that and let's use it to help and to empower it and just to, again, be together in this.
Yeah, and I love that because what it does is it gets rid of shame, you know? That's
Yeah.
the worst feeling in the world, and when I meet somebody who feels ashamed or whatever, I race for, like, what can I tell them that's way worse, like, not to
Yeah.
diminish what they're going through, but so that they feel accepted. So they're like, "Oh, really? That could happen to somebody else? Okay." And so
Yeah.
that they can move through it and move on. Shame is shame, guilt, like all that
Yeah.
crap, and we all suffer from it. It's a real crutch, you know?
It's so true. And it really is amazing what we choose to see in the mirror and then what other people see us as. We
Yeah.
need to stop looking and critiquing and bringing ourselves down. Like, I don't understand this.
Mhm.
Whereas other people don't even see that in us. And I don't just mean physically, I just mean everything. And it's just really empowering each other, but ourselves.
Yeah.
Maybe today was a really crap day, but what went good today? And then
Mhm.
tomorrow's a new day, kind of facing
Yeah.
stuff like that. I think a lot of it's a mindset and
It
choice.
is, and it's so powerful, and it's all lies.
Yeah.
You know? Like, oh my god, it's so true, Mindy, and, I'm going back to this again because I love, love, love your whole mission about women raising each other and not tearing each other
Yeah.
down. We will continue to tear other women down when we do it to ourselves.
Yeah.
So, it has to start with us being forgiving and good to ourselves, and that
Totally.
internal dialogue
Yeah.
is so hard to, you know, it
Mhm. So
we do it and we don't even realize we're doing it. It could be
yeah.
something little like, "Oh my god, I put too much eyeshadow on this side and not enough on here, and now I'm gonna walk out the door like this, like, who do I think I am?" And it can be the dumbest thing, but you pile on all those little negative things. I mean, you may ask yourself like, "Oh my gosh, if I was saying this out loud to a friend, I wouldn't be hanging out with that person anymore. They would have told me where to
Right.
go, right?"
Yeah, that is
So
so. Well, and it's true too in
yeah.
choosing the people that we wanna be, and not just hang around, but you're right, who we wanna be. There's one talk that I give, to mix, but more to, like, women, live presentations that I do, and it's on, being having 2 AMs in your life and being a 2 AM to someone, and what I mean by that is we have so many acquaintances, and then we have, friends, but then when I say, at 2 AM, if you're hurting, if something happens, if you need someone, who can you call at 2 AM? And people go, oh. we think we have this big support
Mm.
group, but it's who can you call that will answer and then respond? And that's who we need to be for people. We need them in our lives, but we also need to be that for people. We need to be real. We need to be genuine. And we just need to be us. You and your roller skates. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And you will be coming with me soon.
Yeah, I know. I can't
No.
wait. Yes. Yes. But it's true. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, when I think about it, I could call you. I feel I could call you at 2 a.m. You
Yeah.
answer, not even have to ask questions, just be like, what do you need?
Yeah.
And be there. There's not
Yeah.
many people. So I'm kind of exploring why this is and how this is and what we can do to kind of shift that too, just to be real.
Hey, this is a whole other business idea for you. You could start a women's support group called the 2 a.m. Club and have, a call in where women can call and just have a
Yes,
person to talk to at
true.
whatever time where they need support.
Yeah. Yeah. Because we
Yeah.
never know what hits us. And we all
Yeah.
know that night times can be even worse.
Oh yeah, when your mind is going. It's
Yeah.
true. And just getting somebody to kind of talk you down and
Yeah.
yeah, reassure you. I love that.
Yeah.
Mindy, you got to tell the people about the yacht club. This is like another,
Oh, almost boating
this is
season.
so cool.
Excited. Yes.
Yeah.
Been in the boating
So,
industry for 20 years. I have my 6th boat now, and this one is mine. I will never lose this one in divorces and such again. But
I love it.
the yacht club was looking for a new Commodore. And as a joke, one of my friends at the yacht club said, I'm going to put your name forward. You're not going to get it, but you deserve the attention of people getting to know who you are and, being part of this community. And I thought, okay. So we'll see how that goes. The day before, I didn't think they'd let my name stand. And then the night before, they sent out the email for the AGM, saying all of what was going to go down the next day. And it was my name against an old gentleman. And I thought, oh my, they're letting my name stand. And what am I going to do with this? So I immediately went into campaign mode. I had 12 hours to campaign. And the next day at the AGM, it was, I think I got 2/3 of the votes. So,
Wow.
so first female, youngest Commodore of my yacht club. And again, not there to make change. That's the other thing. I think people are afraid that we want to go in and make change. And that's not necessarily always the focus. We just want to, if there's change, it's change for the better, change that people have wanted and nobody's implemented, or stuff like that, or really just to keep it rolling. It shouldn't be these scary, uneducated people. Like, women have brains. Being blonde, blue eyes, with boobs, and a female, I find it so hard for people to see the brains.
Wow. My God.
Yeah. But I love it. I love to
You're up for the challenge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I love it. I just see you like tearing these old ways down,
Yeah.
The trailblazer with the flames behind you. Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Just like you. Just like you. But it's about finding out how we want to enjoy life, right? Like,
yeah.
And if we can make it better for people behind us or coming up or younger women or even just people in business, let's do it. Let's continue to do it.
I love that. So if people want to work with you, Mindy, what's the best way for them to, get a hold of you? And
so as you said, thank you, tweedleproductions.com. You'll learn a lot about all the television that I worked in, the event planning, video production, and the media training boot camp on the site. And then love calls, emails, or texts to set up a time to get together. Yeah. But then also because of distance, we have crews. I have crews across Canada and into the States. So we don't just focus on, Hamilton, Toronto, that kind of thing. We go everywhere. So, and then we take your message everywhere. So let's do it. Yeah.
Beautiful. That is amazing. Mindy, I'm so grateful. And thank you for sharing all the personal little tidbits too, because, you're such an extraordinary person. And
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank
you've
Just
you've
like
done
you, girl.
Oh God. Well, we need another sushi night or
Yes,
something.
that was
Yeah.
amazing. Oh yeah,
Yeah. That was so fun.
we'll bring our goals to the table and we'll focus and
Exactly.
get them going.
Yeah.
We
We'll
got this.
hammer them out.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Thank you for the time and for the
Okay.
opportunity to come on and chat. It's wonderful. Thank you.
No problem. Loved having you. I'm going to put you in the virtual green room and I'll be
Okay.
right back with you.
I'll sit
Enjoy.
right.
Okay. Thanks. Thank you guys so much for joining today, for tuning in. May is still here. She really loved the interview with her Auntie Mindy. And gosh, what an extraordinary woman. I hope you feel inspired and encouraged. Just be yourself and keep doing what you're doing because you're doing everything right. It's perseverance, it's commitment, and you just got to keep on going. And Mindy is a prime example of that. She is a real trailblazer. As always, please go check out our sponsors, brendabadome.com. Use the coupon code Get to Know Them. Get yourself some lovely clothes. And go to glamjewels.com to grab yourself some coordinating jewels at GLAMJULZ.com. And make sure you check out our show guest, Mindy Tweedle at tweedleproductions.com. Thank you so much for being here and keep on showing the world your sparkle. We will see you back here next week. Bye for now.